Hey, how are you? I'm just gonna pull this down so you guys can see that it's actually me. Check it out. I am in Fall River's Industrial Park, and I believe it's called Atlantic Capes Scallops, and they have a very cool new product. And it's always, you know, as a photojournalist, I always take pride in getting you guys to places you can't go unless you work there. And in this case, it's the same thing. And they have a very cool new technology. And the only way to photograph it is being in people's space. I've said this 1,000 times, without actually intruding in their space. I love using a wide angle. It puts me really right in there. And, you know, the key is to use interesting vantage points and angles like this. You see, I'm showcasing the fact that these are the trays. This is the technology, and they're blue, and they're very cool. But if I were to just take a photograph, let's say like this, yes, it shows the trays, but there's nothing interesting. There's no depth of field. There's nothing that brings you into the photograph. So thanks to the fine folks at Atlantic Cape for letting us come back here. And I'll be honest with you, all I want to do is eat some of those scallops. Good morning. How's everyone doing? It's time to review my weekend photos. Now, last week you might have noticed that I didn't record an episode, and that was just because things were a little bit hectic towards the end of the week. I did get a couple of really cool shots. Out in Westport, I found a farm that was building a future farm store, not a farm stand, a farm store. And that's one of those photos that you just see the potential. And it's just a matter of looking for an interesting vantage point and just letting things happen sitting there. And I was lying on the ground for quite a while, and eventually it did happen, just enough to create a real cool symmetry in the way that the photo came out. I also took another cool shot, and that was on the way to another assignment, which is the annual Martin Luther King breakfast at UMass Dartmouth. And just because you're heading to an assignment doesn't mean you can't be looking at what else is happening. And I just saw a student running across this field because it started snowing and it was really cold, and bam, there it was. There was a sculpture, got it. It looks like she's floating on air, and it was really pretty cool. Now this week has been, like, the whole focus of the week is we found out, like right behind me, you can see the booms here on the water with two fishing boats that sank attached. Now there's some maybe potentially suspicious activity how they sank, but regardless, they're down there. And there's been a crew that's been trying to salvage or, you know, raise them up. And things have been moving at a real snail's pace, and I've spent most of the week just waiting for something to happen. And it's always difficult to stay motivated when you're looking at the same scene over and over again and nothing is happening. So let's see if maybe today they'll get it up. But I mean, that doesn't mean that I didn't take a couple of cool shots. And you can see a lot of times the real key is the access to the location. And now I'm very familiar with a lot of people within the fishing community here, and they're all pretty cool. So, you know, the access is the main key, but still, you don't want to trespass your boundaries, you know. Let's go get some shots. What do you think?